In the video you're about to see, I'm testing the alternator on this 110. If you can remember, the charge light was on. The reason why I'm doing this intro is when I was playing the video back, the camera picked up every bit of noise and it was so noisy you could hardly hear what I was trying to describe. And what I was using was this little piece of kit here, and it's really handy. That thing, you see if I get it the right way up. No, there you go, that's the piece I was using. This is a DC clamp meter. It's also a voltmeter, an ammeter and an ohm meter. Everything's all in one and it's really good. So what you do is you clamp your wire and you'll be able to tell how much current's going through it. Now on this one there was nothing going through it, even though I'd rewired the light coming from the dash, so the dash light was on, going down to the alternator, which should have excited the alternator, but it wasn't doing anything because the diodes were shot in the pack, in the rectifier pack. So it's now working. The alternator circuit is extremely simple. Some things you've got to watch out for, which I didn't mention in the video. If it's not charging and the charge light, the bulb's gone, it won't charge, because it needs the bulb in to complete the circuit to excite the alternator. Alright, so I missed that bit out, but it's important to check. Make sure the bulb's working. Alright, so I'll watch the video and then I'll come back to the end and we'll explain what they did to the alternator. It's almost lunchtime, so I thought a little quick job. I brought this Garner 2 Land Rover in and see why it's not charging. Charge light's on all the time. It could be a defective alternator, could be bad wiring, could be anything really, but at least we know the bulb works. The wiring on the back of this alternator is unusual to say the least. There is quite a lot of wires attached, including a brown and a white with a brown tracer, which is usually the oil pressure light, which goes to the front. But I wanted to draw your attention to this wire here. This wire here has no insulation on it whatsoever. In fact, it's melted. I'm just wondering, it's some sort of a heater for the wiring circuitry inside. Not really sure. The ones we are concerned though with is this little chap here and this one. Now this is your sort of exciter wire that comes from your light. I'm just trying to say the colour. Yes, it is I think it is. Let's see. Is this a brown? Yes, this is a brown with a yellow tracer. So this should go to this wire here. That's the exciter, and this goes to your light. So in theory, if we were to jump this to this, because this is live, if we jump this to this, it should put some power out. Let's try that. So I hope you can hear me. First of all, we're going to put the clamp meter on DC and see if we've got any amps. Nothing. No, negligible. So let me go and get a jumper and put it across here. Well, we've got 11 amps and lowering. Well, around about 11 amps. So obviously there's something wrong with that wire going to the light. You know something, what the easiest thing is to do is to take that wire and go all the way through the dash up to here, because there's wires everywhere on this thing, so another one's not going to make much of a difference. Yeah, it's charging up. Sorry it's upside down, maybe this is good. Like that. Let's have a look at the light. I just thought I'd show you my test cable. It's actually got a fuse in it so that we protect the wiring. Alright, handy thing to make. You can buy these little fuse holders and it's got a 30 amp in, so if it blows that it's going to be really strong. But what I really wanted to show you is this. See? Wait a minute. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I don't know what that wire does, but we're cutting it off. Alright, back in a tick. So because there could be a problem in the harness, and the wiring in this is a bit sort of, well, substandard, there's different wires everywhere, I just ran a wire straight from the battery light to the alternator. And I've got the wire on here, look. So let's take this off, and the wire and the light should go out. Indeed. So we must have 12 volt going to there. In fact we do, because I've just checked it. So let's bolt it up and let's see if it works. So the wire's back on, and let's start her up. And the light's still on. So that means there could be something defective in the alternator. But first of all, before we shake ourselves to death, let's put the clamp meter on. Nothing. Let me put our jump lead back on. Yeah, now we've got 10 volts. So something's not quite right in here. I think it's a trip down to the alternator shop. They can test it. Because the wiring seems to be fine. So this has got me a bit puzzled. See, we've got a charge light there, so that means there's 12 volt going to one side of the bulb, and then from there it goes, so it lights up the bulb, and that is going to ground through that connection there. So there is the sort of voltage down to there, but I think there might be a bad diode, and I'll show you the reason why. Can you see my voltmeter's upside down, unfortunately, but you can see that it's on 0 amps, so it's not drawing any current, so that's a good thing. Start it up, nothing. But if we took the wires with the exciter, see, we've got 13 amps. Upside down 13 amps, but 13 amps. So I think it's a trip down the alternator shop. Because why isn't that exciting? That's what it should do, just a little tiny excitement. That's all I need. It's just like my life, really, and it should work. So I'm going to strip this down and take it off, take it down to the shop, see what they can say. And if that's okay, then it must be some other wiring on it, but I can't understand what it could be. Because like I said, this brown and yellow wire now goes directly straight to the back of the switch, the dash. More problems, eh? They completely rebuilt the alternator. It was in a real bad state, and you can see what they've done. Now, I think this is I don't know whose make it is. It's Magrelli or something like that. Anyway, it's tested, it's guaranteed for a year, and I'll show you the bits that they replaced. This was the rectifier pack, and I think this was where we were having problems. And you can see it's all mucky, and I bet it's never been serviced or anything for a year. He did say there was something to do with this bit here. He just pointed at it vaguely and made me believe it was right, but that was the problem. And also, this brush pack is so worn, it wasn't worth putting back in. You see, they should be standing right up here, but they're all worn out. So this has done a lot of miles. They also went the full Monty and replaced the bearings. That's the front bearing, and this is the back bearing. If you want to listen to this, that's how dry that bearing is. So it was a good call to get them to do it. They've got all the parts, all the equipment, all the tools, and because there's so many different types of alternators, it's not really worth me stripping them down. And like I say, I took it down and they had it done in an hour and a half. You know, and they charged, what was it, $70 to do it? You know, that was the labour. All the rest was in parts. So really it's not a bad thing, and I've got other time to do different things on this truck. So I'm not going to fit it straight away because I need to get in touch with the owner to see what else we're going to do to this truck. I really don't know. Everything's up in the air now because it needs so much doing to it. So watch this space. Anyway, at least the alternator works. See you later.